and feel like
Hey, you guys, welcome to Kitchen Table Talk Live with SpillitBoy TV. This is your boy, SpillitBoy TV. Listen. The scene is Atlanta. The issue is two peach holders not quite seeing eye to eye. We need to talk about it. I am talking about Marlo Hampton and Kandi Burruss. All of a sudden, we got issues on the home front down to the Atlanta housewives. For some reason, there's been a red X, it seems, put on Kandi Burruss's back by none other than Marlo Hampton. And it's weird because it kind of just came out of nowhere. As you're watching the show, you kind of see Marlo kind of picking a little bit with Kandi, and it's Kandi does this and Kandi does that and that kind of thing. But before that, you didn't kind of see that all the time with Marlo. But listen, where everything really, really jumped off, Marlo actually went on to Carlos King's podcast. Okay. And in that podcast, Marlo did what Marlo does best. Baby, she was throwing shade. Okay. Trust, when I say throwing shade, she was throwing shade by the complete handfuls. I was like, wow, Marlo, really? Listen, the shade has been thrown. She came for Kenya. She talked about when Kenya first got there, that she was broke. She was broke, and that she has no storyline now, then and now. She has no storyline. She continued on. She talked about Kandi and said that Kandi doesn't work for her money down at Bravo. She don't work for her money. They just give it to her for basically nothing. I was like, okay. All righty then. Then she went on. Her and Carlos actually talked about how she actually was offered a peach when she first came on the scene back in season 4, and she basically turned it down. At that time, she was doing whatever that is that she does to make her money. She was doing that thing. And when they offer her the peach, she was given, child, why would I want that? I'm doing this thing, that thing, the other. These girls aren't on my level. I'm wearing designer clothing. They're not. Why would I want that peach? Sucker! And she just went on about her way. That thing just kind of fell by the wayside. Then I think as time went on, she kind of saw the power of the peach. And I think she kind of could have kicked herself. And at that point, she was just kind of like, oh, damn. But by then it was too late. And then after that, it's been this constant pull and grab and beg and ass kiss to try to get this here peach. And now she actually has the peach. She has the peach. You remember before that, she didn't have a storyline. So again, it's been an uphill battle and climb at her clawing toward this peach. I'm going to just go ahead out there and say, listen, I'm one of the ones that says she would never get a peach. I had to go back and eat my words up and beg her pardon. I begged your pardon, Miss Hampton, because I always seen Marlo as a liability. I always did, because she's, she was ghetto and she was quick, and she always seemed like she's ready to fight. And it's like, girl, that's a liability when you're talking reality TV. They really don't. They want you to get hyped up, but they don't really want you to fight. They want you to appear that you could get ghetto, but you just really don't get ghetto. They ain't really ready for nobody to really get to scrapping. Like, remember when Portia and Kenya got the scuffling and tussling? And they weren't ready for all that. They was not ready at all. Anyway, moving on. She continued on in this podcast, carrying on about Kandi. I mean, just really going in on Kandi, really kind of unnecessarily. She went as deep as to say, Kandi, because on the show this past week, the past episode, in episode 4, she talked about, was it episode 4? I think it's episode 4. Whatever this past episode was, she talked about they're in New York and Kandi giving the women, gifted them all vibrating panties. And she's saying, this whole thing with the sexuality with Kandi, this was shown on the show, is just ridiculous. It's just getting out of hand. She's always sex this and sex that and sex. And it's just out of hand. And what she really need to be concentrating on is really screwing Todd. And she goes in like Todd's not getting all that he needs. Listen, I beg to differ. I don't care what the storyline is. Kandi and Todd like getting down with each other, and however they get down, I'm not buying from anybody, not even when they say it, that Kandi and Todd ain't getting down enough. I don't buy that. But anyway, so she went all into that, and then she goes into this thing and she says, teach us about how to start a play, how to produce a play. Teach us how to start up a business. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold up, Marlo. You from the street. Straight, cold, straight up from in the streets. The game is to be sold, not to be told. So what are you really talking about here? What are you really talking about here? Like, this seems like nothing more to me than I've arrived, and now I got to find me a target. And for some reason, it seems she thinks that Kandi is her target. That's the way it looks to me. You all leave me some comments and tell me what y'all think, because we're going to go over some of what has actually happened, in the past, and what Kandi actually had to say. The thing that I think really kicked it off, that really got up underneath Kandi's skin, she said that Kandi has completely out in Atlanta, and that she needs to be concentrating more on giving back to the community. I said, whoa. There was a time when it was, that stuff being said about Kandi being a sugar mama and Kandi taking care of dudes and all of that. You know what? Those little jokes aren't really funny anymore. Those little jokes don't kind of just slide under the radar anymore, because Kandi is a married woman now. See, it's different when you say things like that. You are out in Atlanta and you paint a picture of someone being a slut or a whore when they're a single woman. But when they're married, now you're disrespecting two people. Let me tell you all what happened next. Baby, Miss Kandi was hitting a carpet. She was at a premiere for B-Boy Blues. She hit that carpet, and the lady hit her with that, oh, girl, it's so good to see you. And this is what was being said about you. Honey, that Kandi was too through. Do you hear me? Miss Kandi got to telling the woman right there on the carpet, honey, I just spoke to her about an event and my attendance and me helping along and participating in an event and a fundraiser for her and something that she's planning to do. I've always helped her. And she told a story of when there was actually another show that Marlo was actually trying to get on when she could not get her peach, that Kandi had actually gone ahead and she actually helped her to get booked onto another reality show where she couldn't get onto the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And that Marlo kind of let that deal fall through at the time. So she kind of screwed that up. And you remember when they first met, Marlo was dating a cousin of Kandi's. This is before we even knew what a Marlo Thomas was. They go way back. And it seems as though anytime it can be available for Marlo to clout chase off of Kandi, because she mentioned food drives and things like that, that Marlo was always there. Anytime you could get some FaceTime along off of Kandi's back, that Marlo was the first one there. A year ago, Marlo actually appeared on Kandi's show, Speak On It, on her online show, Speak On It. So there's a whole track record of Kandi holding Marlo's hand and bringing her along on this ride. And now it feels sort of like she used her. And now she feels that she's arrived. And now she's Marlo's target. And baby, when that woman hit that, the little effed out part, you see she got a little irritated. She got a little irritated. Baby, when she dropped that bomb about what she needs to do as far as the community and giving back to the community, that was it. Kandi got the cussing and told the woman she's getting on my nerves, Miss Marlo. She got to telling it, baby. She said, do you understand? I give back. I have businesses. I put my businesses in the Black community so that I can extend jobs to people in the community. This is what I do. What is it that she's doing? What is it that she's doing? What is it that she's done? What is it that she's showing for where her money came from? And all I said, uh-oh. Then she went on and Kandi said, I pay people's tuitions. I have paid college tuitions for people I don't even know. I said, oof. It got a little rough there. And I was like, wow. You could tell she was very irritated because to let it go like that on the carpet was something else. I don't know. Listen, you all hit me in my comments. Let me know. What do you think? Do you think it's a good idea for Marlo to make Miss Burruss her mark for her storyline on The Real Housewives of Atlanta? I don't think it's a good idea. You all let me know in the comments what you think. And I will talk to you guys real soon. I'm sure we ain't heard the last of this. Talk to y'all later.
And feel like